My overall favorite play is going to be Jimmy G over 1.5 passing touchdowns. In this video, you're going to figure out exactly why, all the math behind this hidden strategy of correlation. Let's now learn how to become profitable sports bettors together. About 3 days ago, I posted a YouTube video going over the correlation strategy, and in that video, guys, I recommended a 6 of 6 slip. This was directly from the Jacksonville Jaguar and the Buffalo Bills game. Recommended all overs, and these were the highest correlated combos. It also turned out to be a shootout near the end of the game, hence the reason all these guys actually hit. The reason that we didn't recommend any unders in this game was partly because PrizePicks does nerf the payouts, meaning that they alter the payouts. Whenever you select all overs on PrizePicks, they actually take down the payouts, I believe, from a 25x down to like a 19. I've seen like 23x. Anyway, they alter the payouts, and that's not something we like to see here, which generally is why on PrizePicks we recommend all overs. And again, we're going for the correlation aspect of these slips, and I'm going to explain in this video why the correlation strategy is so profitable. But first, in order to understand why the correlation strategy works, we must first go over the payout basics on PrizePicks and these other fixed payout platforms like on Underdog, on Parlay Play, and Jock Market. They do not alter their payouts based on the different combinations of players that you have. Meaning if they're all unders, all overs, if they're in different contests, again, the payouts never change with some rule exceptions, of course, on PrizePicks, where you can't pair all unders within the same game without them altering your payouts. But we found out every single hidden payout structure here on each one of these fixed payout platforms. We're going to go ahead and start out by going over PrizePicks and why this is such a profitable long-term strategy. So as I said, Jimmy Garoppolo over 1.5 passing touchdowns was my overall favorite play. I'm going to build 5 individual plays here a little bit later on in the video and explain why this is such a profitable strategy. But first, again, going over the basics, I'm going to prove to you guys that the fixed payout platforms like PrizePicks don't alter their payouts. Let's hypothetically say we want to dip into some MLB today. Max Fried, under pitching strikeouts, we'll go with a League of Legends play. Adi, sure, yeah, cool jersey, by the way. Over 2.5 map 1 to 2 kills. We'll go with the CS2 play. Let's go under Alex. How about a nice little NBA season play? We'll go with Jokic over 25.6 points and rebounds, and a tennis play we'll throw in there as well. You're always going to get 25x for going 6 out of 6. 5 out of 6, you're going to go 2x your entry fee. And then if you get 4 out of 6, you get 0.4. So you get some money back here going 4 out of 6. And just to further prove to you guys here, if I select and change the combos of these players, the payouts never change, right? So hopefully we're on the same page there. When you do this exact same kind of process on FanDuel, depending on the combination of players, they can definitely change the payouts. And they usually alter your payouts in single game parlays. So when you put different player props within the same game, if they happen to impact the other player in a positive manner because they're independent variables, the sportsbooks know this, and then they turn around and they alter the payouts. And PrizePicks, Jock Market, Underdog, and Parlay Play, they do not do that. Remember, the sportsbooks are here to beat you, and if you're playing single game parlays, they're going to alter their payouts if the percent chance of each one of these players organically increase by positive correlation. And again, these fixed payout platforms have not started doing that yet, which is why we're exploiting them in terms of this correlation strategy. So let's go through some of the slip types that you can play in my overall favorite correlation slip here on PrizePicks. And keep in mind, the more legs you add, the higher the correlation. And I'm going to go over why here, which is why we're playing a 6 flex slip. And we're not just doing a 4-man, 2-man. Because if you only are playing 2 positively correlated 2-man players, you're not taking that full advantage of all the correlation within that same game. So in this video, we're going to be using what's called the DGF correlation tool. And what this tool does is it goes and sifts through all of the positively correlated values, the different combinations of players within that game, finds the most profitable combo overall per the 6 different players in that slip, while going through each individual leg here, finding the plus EV value, and then pairing them together to show you the most profitable slip. All you need to do is load up the DGF correlation tool, find the slip that you want to enter, and it shows you the most profitable correlation slip overall. And again, I'm going to break down the math here throughout this video, but just to show you here, the very first play recommended on this this PrizePicks slip is going to be Jimmy G over 1.5 passing touchdowns. The next play is going to be Jordan Love over 234.5 passing yards. We're going to go ahead and throw that in now. And you guys can already see where this is going, right? Jimmy G over 1.5 passing touchdowns means that he's going to have a very good game in the passing department, right? Which means he's going to be throwing the ball a lot. If Jimmy G is throwing the ball a lot, that means that other players within this game are going to be positively impacted by Jimmy G's performance, right? Another player that's very correlated with Jimmy G is the opposing quarterback, and that's going to be Jordan Love. If Jimmy G is throwing a lot of passing touchdowns, that means Jordan Love's percent odds to hit over 233.5 passing yards organically increases, right? Theoretically, that makes sense. And again, the reason why we're selecting overs here on PrizePicks is because the unders are nerfed in terms of their payouts, right? They're going to alter the payouts. And right now, they are not altering the payouts on all overs. So we're hoping here for a higher scoring game, higher scoring affair here over 233.5 passing yards. And then for Jimmy G to go out and throw over 1.5 passing touchdowns as well. These two are positively correlated in terms of the single game parlay. But as you can see here, 2 correct still pays 3x. These payouts never change on PrizePicks, right? I can change the player out here, and I can just show you guys this League of Legends player, random player, 3x, right? And we know that these obviously don't impact each other. But Jordan Love and Jimmy G do impact each other. Does that make sense so far? But let's now take this a step further. If Jimmy G's throwing for a lot of touchdowns, if Jordan Love's throwing for a lot of passing yards, the correlation tool is going to show us the next highly correlated value in terms of the slip. If Jimmy G's getting in the red zone a lot, throwing a lot of passing touchdowns, that means AJ Cole, his punter, is not going to be punting as much. We're going to take the under on his punts at 4. Pretty straightforward, right? When you think of correlation, you don't really think of the punters, but punters are heavily correlated. Their unders are with the overs of passing yards, passing touchdowns. And the same exact thing can be said for the opposing punter. And right now we're showing the highest correlated value. This is out of 100. The correlation score shows you the most correlation and how heavily correlated these individual legs are with each other. This is out of 100. This is a custom score. So the higher the correlation score is. And again, this is out of 100. So 92.119 is an extremely correlated slip. You want the profit margin in the correlation score just fundamentally to be higher, just because the more heavily correlated usually means the higher profit margin, right? Profit margin just shows you the ROI that you can receive from the slip in the long term. So anything on this tool is going to show you a profitable slip. So right now we're taking advantage of AJ Cole under punts, and then Whelan, I think that's how you pronounce his name, under 4 punts as well. Taking the under on both punters. Hopefully there's a lot of scoring in this affair, and these players are throwing for a lot of passing yards and passing touchdowns. And then we look for the next best, highest correlated players within this contest. So Jordan Love is throwing for a lot of passing yards. Who's he going to be throwing to, right? He's going to be throwing to one of his backs. He's going to be throwing to his wide receivers. And if we're taking advantage of these individual plus EV legs, we're looking for the softest lines. Right now, Aaron Jones over 17.5 receiving yards is the next best play. Looking for a lot of dump-offs, hopefully, right? Over 17.5 receiving yards, and then Christian Watson over receiving yards. And these lines are actually bumped 1 to 2 yards, I think. I think Watson we got at 43, and then Jordan Love we got actually 1 yard of a discount here. It doesn't really matter. It's pretty much the exact same, right? Like 1 yard isn't really going to change the overall correlation of this slip. It's going to change decimal points. Regardless, this is the highest correlated slip, and that's where the software comes into play. We're always combing through the highest correlated combos throughout the entire game. And we're going to be doing this. The software is consistently scanning every single minute to ensure you that you're getting the best bang for your buck in terms of the correlation slip. We're not showing you just correlated slips. We're showing you the most profitable correlated slips overall that you can possibly have. So again, the edge here is that correlation itself is not altered in terms of overs on PrizePicks, whereas on traditional sportsbooks, they alter the payouts like drastically. Because as you can see here, 6 out of 6 is 25x, 5 out of 6 is 2x, and 4 out of 6 is 0.4x no matter what for all overs. We can even take unders for a punter, which is heavily correlated. Anyway, you guys get the point here. Fantastic overall edge here. We're hoping for a shootout. We're hoping for high scoring, a lot of passing within this contest, at least for this specific slip. Let's now take a look at another payout platform called Jock Market. Jock Market, you guys can use code DGF for 100% match up to $100. Right now, the optimal payout is going to be your 5 out of 5 slip, non-insured. They just boosted those payouts to 20x. So we're looking for a full sweep, non-insured, 5 out of 5 to get 20x. And this one's pretty interesting. There's no website present, so I can't physically show you guys here on the desktop. But if you guys want to pull out your app here, use code DGF for 100% match up to $100, of course. This game script's interesting. We're hoping for a lot of throwing here with Jordan Love to go over 0.5 interceptions. And then we're hoping for an under passing attempts for Jimmy G. So we're hoping that the Raiders get out to an early lead and they don't rely on their passing game as much. Because Aaron Jones here, under 49 receiving yards. Again, we're hoping for a lot of passing that they're playing catch up. And Josh Jacobs over rushing yards, that they rely more on the rushing game because they're out to an early lead. And same thing here with tackles plus assists. Obviously, with Savage being out on the field more often, that means the Raiders are going to be controlling the game, which means he should go over in terms of tackles plus assists. This one's fun. This one's definitely fun to play if you are a Raiders fan. Definitely heavy correlation here. Obviously, the profit margin isn't as high because this isn't as correlated as the PrizePicks slip, but it's still profitable. Like, there's still an edge to be had. 86.12 is still a fantastic correlation score. So again, if you guys haven't used Jock Market, this is the exact slip I will be playing on Jock Market. Be sure to use code DGF for 100% match up to $100. Guys, hopefully you did enjoy this NFL content. If you did, please do hit that subscription button, notification bell, and of course, smash that like button for all of our future NFL content. With all that being said, have a great rest of your day, and let's cash.